Roblox has a huge problem, especially the Roblox anime community. For some reason, games that say they're coming out just never come out. Now, there's obviously a bunch of reasons for this, whether it's developers delaying, developers not keeping their word, or just problems in development. This stuff happens all the time. It's not easy creating games. And I know you guys have seen a bunch of top 10 videos from me and other content creators in the past, and most of these games never come out, or some of them do and they die instantly. But today is different. I have something you guys are gonna want to hear. In today's video, we have top 10 games that are going to be releasing in 2024. Confirmed, by the way. Yes, in all of these games that I'm going to be listing in the initial top 10, I have actually gotten confirmation from the head developers of these games. I'll show screenshots when I say the name of the game. So all of the games on the initial top 10 list are confirmed to be releasing in 2024. And please say thank you, Agz, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes asking developers questions like this, I just don't like doing it because it might add pressure onto them, and that's what we need to avoid, adding pressure to releasing their games, because that's how games fail, because of lack of content. But before we actually get into the initial top 10 list, this video was kind of clickbait. There's way more than 10 games on this list. The initial top 10 list has 11 games, just because I couldn't pick which one to replace over the other. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm sorry. That's a good thing though, right? And we have quite a few games on the honorable mention. Now, the reason why we have so many games on the honorable mention list is because some of these games are a little bit iffy. They haven't confirmed 2024 release, but they have suggested 2024 releases, and some of them I just wanted to add to the list. So before we get into the top 10 list, let's kick things off with the honorable mention. Kicking things off with the most interesting honorable mention. I don't even know what the name of the game is because the game doesn't have an actual name yet, but it is a Dragon Ball Z game. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks like Sparking Zero but the Roblox version. It looks Budokai Tenkaichi inspired, and the game looks pretty good. The combat system looks good. I love the camera movement, I love the lock on, the moves and abilities look good, the map looks good, and the hit impact, the motion, the mechanics all look top tier. Now, the owner, or should I say the creator of this game, has worked on other games that people have been excited for in the past. However, unfortunately, sometimes he doesn't release his games. Let's just put it like that. The owner of this game is the same owner who was making Berserker, and we all know how good that game looked, or looks. But unfortunately, there was complications during the development of that, and he had personal things come up and happen to him during the development phase of that. So that has been put in the back burner. He has said on Twitter that at a certain point he may pick up development for Berserker in the future. However, his priority right now is this Dragon Ball Z game. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm happy with that. I will take that. Now, is this game gonna release in 2024? Probably not, which is why it's on the honorable mentions list. But we can all appreciate a good looking Roblox game, especially one that shifts the meta in terms of what we're used to seeing on the Roblox platform. This is something new, exciting, and changes what people's perception of Roblox anime games are and can be. I'm looking forward to seeing this beautiful looking game in the future. Until then, I'm just here to let you know this game exists. Now for honorable mention 2, we have Countless Worlds. Now Countless Worlds is an open world RPG game that has been in development for a little while now, and it's inspired by Critical Adventure, if you guys remember that game. However, this game is its own original take on that game, and I have covered Countless Worlds before in a previous top 10 video. However, it has now been pushed back to honorable mentions, mainly because yes, they have hinted that they do want the game to come out at some point this year, but they're not that transparent in terms of how the development is going. The only thing they said is that there's been closed testing going on for a while now, and that they've made significant progress in the game's development, and that they do want to give a release date pretty soon, which could mean anything in terms of Roblox developer standards. However, Countless Worlds will be a free-to-play game, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks really interesting. It is nice to see RPG games on the Roblox platform, even though we do know RPG games are hard to make. but there's going to be a bunch of different biomes, and from what we've seen from the sneaks, the game actually looks really well made. I'm super interested to see how this game actually plays out when the time actually comes. We just don't know too much about the game other than the sneaks that we have seen, but from those sneaks, this game does look really solid, and I need you guys to keep this one on your radar. Countless Worlds looks amazing, and I'm looking forward to playing it whenever it does come out. Next in our honorable mentions is actually a game that I've been keeping my tabs on for a couple of years now, and that is Universe Trigger Project. Now again, I've spoke about this game on multiple different occasions over the past couple of years, and lately we've been seeing significant development updates inside of the Universe Trigger Discord server. The combat looks really good, the world looks really good, and you know what? We never see a World Trigger game on the Roblox platform, which makes me really excited because I love World Trigger. And from this game, it looks like they're doing things in the right direction. Now the owner of the game has been working at his own pace, as he should, and things look like they're coming along really well. Again, this is one of those games where it's most likely not going to come out in 2024, which is why it's on honorable mentions. But the game looks good, and I want you guys to have this game on your radar. Now, could the game come out and be bad? Maybe. But could the game come out and be good? Most definitely. The combat system reminds me of a nice spin of Rogue Lineage and other games. There's going to be different types of triggers that you can use, and I love the transformations. I just want to see how this game's progression is going to pay out, because this is a genre of anime that we've never had on the Roblox platform, and if it's pulled off well, it could be really beautiful. Next in our honorable mentions list, we have Jump Warrior Z. Now Jump Warrior Z has been showcased on this channel a bunch of times as well, and I think they're gearing up for a release? I'm not too sure. Yes, in the Discord server they did put out a roadmap, but the roadmap doesn't really give me an idea of any dates, and it's not the most clear thing in the world. However, we do know that they're pushing towards wanting to release the game at some point. Jump Warrior Z has been on my radar for a couple of years now, and I'm pretty sure they were meant to release sometime last year, but they wanted to improve and change some mechanics, which is actually always a good thing. I've played the game in the past, so you guys do know what the game looks like, but I'm very sure the game has changed significantly since the last time I played it. They've added a bunch of new stuff to the game. So whenever we get the chance to cover that game again, just to see what's new and what's changed from the last time we've played, I'd love to do that. But that's it from Jump Warrior Z. Next in our honorable mentions, we have Shonen Unleashed. Now Shonen Unleashed is a anime battle arena game. However, it's a little bit different from the ones we've seen before in the past. Well, no it's not. Let me not lie, no it's not. But it does have interesting mechanics and features that we haven't seen on other Battlegrounds games. And I do like the characters that are shown. It just feels a little bit more immersive than the other one. Now, we do know the huge problems with Battleground type games, especially ABA type games, is really just content and how fun it is after playing for a couple of days. Hopefully Shonen Unleashed gives us a different spin on that, because, well, I'll be so real, I'm tired of ABA games. But I am looking forward to playing Shonen Unleashed in the future. Now again, this is one of those things where they've hinted that they want to release the game at a certain point of time. I just don't know if it's this year or within the next 10 years. But they have been showcasing characters really well. The promotional material on this game is really well, and I applaud the developers for being professional about the way they handle this game. It's not something you see too often on the platform. Next, we have a game we haven't heard a lot from in a long while, Paradox. Now recently Paradox showed off a sneak of a transformation, and before that's about it. Since the last time we played the game, however many months ago that was, there's not much to say about Paradox because we haven't seen or heard too much about Paradox recently. Yes, we do know it's a Bleach game, and they promised that it's gonna have a really good progression system. We played the old version of the PvP, and I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. There was a lot of things and features from the last time we played, which was a long time ago, that needed improvement on, but I'm pretty sure they've improved on all of that. But the mechanics were pretty cool the last time we played, but we just don't know too much about it because the devs aren't that transparent about it, and that is why it's an honorable mention. And for the last game on honorable mentions, we actually have Towerbound. Now Towerbound is a game game that has been in development for a while now. Shout out to silvermoonagz. He's the one who put everybody on this game, actually, because I'm very sure the first video out there was from silvermoonagz. That was years ago. Now, Towerbound is inspired from Tower of God, which is meant to be coming back very soon. I'm super excited about that. But the owner for the game has said a lot of things over the past couple of weeks. The game was meant to release at some point for paid access. I don't even know. He said the game was meant to release and now the game isn't releasing, and there was a Tesla slot giveaway, and he said something about paying to access the game temporarily before the full release. I'm pretty sure when the game fully releases, it's going to be free to play, but I heard it's only about 100 Robux to actually gain access to the game, which is very cheap. So I'm very sure everyone's going to be able to afford that. If not, I can do some giveaways. But with the lack of transparency when it comes to Towerbound, I really have no idea. And a lot of the times when devs aren't transparent, all you can do is leave things up to assumption, which is how we ended up here in honorable mentions. And the game has been showcased publicly for the past 2 or 3 years now, so we could be waiting till GTA 7 for all we know, which is why this is on honorable mention. But without further ado, let's head it straight in to the top 10, top 11. It's 11 games, so yeah, let's do this. Starting off at number 11, Eternal Battleground. Now, what's super interesting about this game is it's being made, or the owner is the owner of YBA. And the funny thing about this is that once this game comes out, Eclipse is gonna have a lot to say about it, because he's already not happy at the creation of this game alone. Now, Eternal Battlegrounds is, as the name suggests, an anime battlegrounds game. It's not a battle arena, it's a battlegrounds, and we all know how that works. But there is an interesting plot to this. Not only is it very high quality from what we've seen, it also has parrying. Now, I know parrying scares a lot of people because it's really just ping based. But the developers have taken their time with this game from what it looks like, and they're trying to get everything perfect for the game's release. And yes, this game is actually meant to come out this year. I haven't asked, but I'm very sure they confirmed on multiple occasions. On top of that, I'm very sure the owner, Uzuki, said he's going into surgery. So that's another reason why the game hasn't actually come out yet. So when he overcomes all those personal stuff, along with once the game is polished and up to their standards, the game will be releasing. And I won't lie, the game looks high quality. The only issue I have with it is that it's a battlegrounds game. We all know how fun those things are. Next on the list, we have Clover RPG, which is a Black Clover inspired open world RPG game. Now, a lot of people have said this game reminds them of a magic based Deep Woken game, and Deep Woken has magic. Let's just say a Black Clover version of Deep Woken. Honestly, that's what people call this game, and I understand why. However, the game feels completely different from what I've played, at least. This is a magic based world that's going to have mythical creatures and magic type lore going on with it. And yes, there's parrying in it. Now, I haven't played Clover RPG in a while, but the developers have confirmed its release for 2024, hence why it's on the actual list. With a couple of testing, I think they said they're approaching the last testing phase before they're ready to finalize for release. So Clover RPG is one of those games you're gonna wanna have on your radar. The game actually feels, looks, and plays really well, and the developers did say they have a lot of things planned for this game. So I'm hoping they stick to that and we actually get what they have planned when the game releases. Next on our list, we have Dimension X. And contrary to popular belief, Dimension X is not a battlegrounds game. Dimension X is an immersive online action RPG, which is going to offer players a chance to journey into a captivating anime-inspired universe. There's going to be different anime characters, and we do know that even some cartoon characters such as Finn, Jake, the Ice King, etc. Now, what I would really like is that they actually stuck with the whole cartoon and anime inspired themes that they have going on. Not only does that allow for more content, but it allows us chances of seeing characters like Ben 10, Generator X, and even maybe things like Johnny Bravo in the future. Apparently this game is going to be treading on uncharted territories in terms of doing and implementing things that we actually haven't seen in the community before, which I do find super interesting. From the sneaks that we have seen, the combat system does look pretty simplistic but different at the same time. I do like the direction they're going in with it. And with so much possibilities that this game could offer up, I would like to see this game actually flourish. It will be nice to see a game do something different than just a simple Luffy, Goku, Naruto aesthetic. Especially if this is an open world game that we're actually gonna get to see how the developers incorporate progression from different animes and cartoons into one game. Dimension X is set to be releasing at some point in 2024, which I find super interesting because of the next game on this list, Project Slayers 2. Now, Project Slayers 2 is being made by the same devs of Dimension X, and both of these games have been said to release in 2024, confirmed by the developers themselves, which is why I'm super interested. Now, Project Slayers 2 is the continuation, or should I say revamp, of Project Slayers 1. And what a lot of people don't seem to understand about Project Slayers 1 as to why that game is not being worked on anymore is because, and stated by the developers, the back end of that game was so terrible to the point where every time they'll try to add new content or just add things to the game's back end, it would break a lot of the features that are being implemented and old elements, and it was a hassle to deal with. So to counter that, to make sure that wasn't an issue, they made a completely new game, which is super understandable. Now, one thing I must say is that the only thing being transferred from Project Slayers 1 to Project Slayers 2 is game passes, which has been stated. Your progression from Project Slayers 1 and progression from Project Slayers 2 are going to be two different things, so that won't be transferred. You're not going to be able to take your legendary items from Project Slayers 1 into Project Slayers 2 because it's a completely different game. It's going to have a completely different progression system, and from what it looks like, the PvP, the combat mechanics looks very similar, if not the exact same thing, which is the only thing that disappoints me personally, is that the combat didn't really get much of a revamp or a change. It looks exactly the same in my opinion, which is quite an unfortunate turn of thing, because Project Slayers 1 PvP was terrible. If I have to be completely honest, the game's PvP was mid. Anyways, Project Slayers 2 does look beautiful visually, and I hope the progression is matching that of the visuals. Again, this game is set to come out this year, which is pretty crazy. They got a huge workload, and I'm wishing them the best of luck. Next on the list is a new take, a new entry, Anime Rivals. Now, I have covered Anime Rivals pretty recently, and Anime Rivals is essentially Clash Royale, but the anime version. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. It does exactly what it's meant to be doing, being Clash Royale. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is one of those things where it's not the most complex game in the world, but it's also something I'm kind of looking forward to, because this has not been done on the Roblox platform successfully yet. And I honestly think if they get this right, this will be a good leisure game that we can all pick up and play whenever we're bored, just in general. Yes, it essentially is a tower defense game, but it's not the same as the tower defense games we're used to playing. And apparently the game will have a story mode and will have competitive and casual game modes to play against friends on. So this game actually looks like it might be really entertaining. This is one of those unusual games that I'm genuinely kind of looking forward to playing. Now, a lot of people say it's not really unique because it's literally just copying a formula that already exists, which is Clash Royale. However, it's different to a sense just because it's on Roblox. And it's anime inspired, with anime characters, anime units, and things of that nature. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this is executed. Now, this can turn out terribly wrong and end up being trash if they don't pay attention to detail. Things such as just how the units interact with each other when they clash, ground and air units being utilized properly and done properly, if they overlook the small details, this game could turn out being very mid. However, with Clash Royale already existing, they have something to look over in terms of inspiration, and they already have a blueprint. They just need to get everything else right. VFX, sound effects, even down to things like how units interact with each other. Does it look good? Now, I'm praying the game does turn out well, but we both know, or we all know, that this is Roblox, and unfortunately sometimes Roblox developers fail to pay attention to the small thing. But it is set to release in 2024, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. With number 6, we have Pantera, and yes, Pantera is what a lot of people are calling the good version of Type Soul, aka Type Soul Killer. And I know a lot of you guys side at the fact that it's another Bleach game, but Pantera does really look interesting. The animations look clean, the VFX also look clean, and just small details down to the way you interact with the environment look very clean also. Again, what's gonna set this apart from other Bleach games on the platform is if they can actually get progression down right, because progression in Bleach games, well, they're terrible. And if they get the combat right. Now, if the combat is done right and they manage to get progression, there might be a place on this platform for Pantera. Visually, it already looks there, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Pantera has been confirmed to be releasing in 2024, and this is one of those games where usually I tend to bat an eye at and not look towards its direction, but I'm pretty interested to see how this goes, especially since Type Soul is about to turn into an overpowered ability spam fest. In number 5, we have a game that I've been wanting to talk about on the channel for a while now, and I will dedicate a video to it at some point. Tokyo Re. Now, Tokyo Re is, well, originally it was created because the owner of the game hated Type Soul so much, and I'm very sure he just wanted to get what Type Soul got wrong and do it right, which in my opinion is brilliant motivation. It was originally called Type Ghoul, but it got revamped and changed into Tokyo Re because it wants to separate itself from its Type Soul counterpart, or should I say inspiration. What started off as hate towards another game might actually end up flourishing and turning into its own lotus flower, because Tokyo Re right now is looking amazing. We haven't gotten a Tokyo Ghoul game to this caliber, and a lot of the things look really good in this game. And this is one of those situations where I actually might become a member of the CCG because they look really cool. Now, Tokyo Re has been said to release in 2024, but before the full release of the game, they do want to do a closed community type thing. So the game will start off as CC, but it will actually have a full release. I don't know if both of those are gonna happen in 2024, or it's just the CC that will happen in 2024 and then the full release will happen sometime in 2025. But either way, I'm excited to hop in and play this game. It looks amazing, and Tokyo Re is something you guys should put on your radar. Looks good. Now, I must say before we continue this, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. All the games here look beautiful, and yes, all the links to the game's Discord servers will be in the description below. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, because why have you made it this far into the video without already doing that? I need at least 1,500 likes in this video for me putting you on games that are actually coming out this year. Like, all of them are coming out this year. But I must say before we continue, I really didn't know how to order the rest of the games on this list, because every single one of them below are games that I've been looking forward to for years now. And I kid you not, every single one of them I've been looking forward to for years. Not 1 year, 2 years and over. So I didn't really know how to place them on the list, and I'm not gonna lie, the order doesn't really matter that much. I just need you guys to know the games below are genuinely ones that I need to play right now. So devs, can you guys hurry up? Thanks. Let's get back into the video. Pocket anime. Now, we all know how I feel about pocket anime. There might be a little bit of a glaze here. Like a little bit, a lot of bit, a lot of bit, a little bit, I don't know. Now, pocket anime is an anime inspired Pokemon game, but it's not Pokemon. It's anime characters that you're going to be putting inside of your pocket ball or capture device, whatever you want to call it for this game. Now, I have talked and made a bunch of videos about Pocket Anime, so we're not going to sit here and yap and talk about Pocket Anime even more than we need to or that we already have. But Pocket Anime just announced its next testing phase 2. Now, if you don't already know, Pocket Anime has a roadmap, which is why we know Pocket Anime is releasing in 2024. But at the end of July, we're going to be starting phase 2 for the testing, which is going to continue off where we left off as phase 1, and we're going to be exploring a completely new area with new content and new units. Hopefully, we're going to get to see some evolutions of the units we already have gotten to experience. Now, one thing I must state in terms of Pocket Anime is my fear. I really do fear when this game releases, content might not come at a pace that allows the game to survive. With a lot of creature capture games we've seen, I'm just gonna name one of them, which is Tales of Tenerio. It took them 3 to 4 months to add content that was originally meant to release with the release of the game that already got pushed back like a month or 2. So yes, I do know creature capture games are really hard to make, and a lot of time and preparation goes into each unit, stats, distributions, evolutions, and things of that nature. Which is why I'm scared for Pocket Anime, because if we have to wait 6 months for one area, the game might die. So I really do hope the Pocket Anime devs not only just have a roadmap, but have a time schedule of when things need to be completed and when they need to be completed by. Because this is one of those games I genuinely don't want to see go, but it will die if it doesn't do what it needs to do, and that is produce enough content to sustain the player base. Because as it is right now, Roblox players can play through 20 hours worth of content in 2 hours. So I'm a little bit scared. I just had to say that. I know it's yapping, but let's move on to the next game. Revolveragz. Now, Revolveragz is a game that we've seen a lot of recently, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of within the next couple of months. And I'm very sure testing is going to start soon, because the month is almost over. The year is actually slowly coming to an end. We're almost 7 months in to 2024. And yes, I have gotten confirmation that Revolveragz does want to release this year. So with that being said, Revolveragz is a 7 Deadly Sins inspired game with a lot of mechanics and features that a lot of Roblox games don't have nowadays. And I'm super interested to see what this game performs like during release, because the way things are going, this game is coming out with a lot, and I mean a lot of content. Revolveragz has been in development for a while now, so they have been using that time wisely. They haven't been wasting it, trust me. They are cooking. And unlike a lot of other games, Revolveragz is going to be coming out for mobile during release, so keep that in mind. And 2, we have a heavy hitter, Revolveragz. Now, Revolveragz is or has been promised to release in 2024. The Rel brothers did confirm that. And Revolveragz is the biggest One Piece game, or should I say the biggest One Piece inspired game to be hitting Roblox ever. It is very optimistic. The game has a lot of features and mechanics that a lot of One Piece games just don't have and probably will never have. The game is pretty huge. From the movies and the teasers, or should I say from the movie and the teasers, we've seen or gotten a glimpse at what this game has to offer. And Revolveragz movie 2 is around the corner. I'm pretty sure they said it will be releasing soon because they have started working on it. Revolveragz is set to be one of the biggest games in Roblox history, and that's not glazing. That's just from the hype the game has received and from the promises that the Rel brothers have been making. This game is not meant to be a joke or anything to be played with, as a matter of that fact. Now, my main concerns for Revolveragz is, are they going to be able to keep up with this quality years after the release of this game? Or will it do as other One Piece games do over time, decrease the quality of the updates and just take forever to update? Only time will actually tell. But Revolveragz is one of the heavy hitters on this list because it might be one of the biggest games in Roblox history. And for number 1, we have Yahiba. Now, Yahiba is a Demon Slayer inspired game, and I'm not gonna lie, it crept its way up this list. In previous top 10 videos, Yahiba would always be within that top 5 space, or even honorable mentions. But Yahiba is actually meant to release for closed access for paid access at some point this year. Yes, unfortunately the game will be paid access. Now I do not remember if they said it will be free at some point. I will leave it on the screen if that is the case, but I'm very sure it's going to be a paid access game. And I'm not gonna lie, from the sneaks we've seen, the mechanics look really beautiful. The combat mechanics and the PvP in general look smooth, look good, and look very interesting. The game is Sekiro inspired, and it's also inspired and takes notes from Demon Slayer. Now, the main thing I have with this game is that, will there actually be content? As we all know, Demon Slayer games are actually very popular on the platform, but what all of them lack, and I mean every single one of them, is always content. It's very hard to make Demon Slayer games have good, replayable, and a good amount of content. Usually Demon Slayer games fall off after you do the Slayer exam once you're a Slayer, and if you're a demon, well, good luck even finding content, because demon content is always terrible. However, we don't know how this game is going to play out, so it's really hard to tell. Yes, the combat, the mechanics, and the movement look very good. The game on its surface level looks very good. However, what's going to keep players playing over time is content. Not only content, it's how long it takes to deliver new forms of content also. And that could be said for the rest of the games on this list too. Yahiba does look interesting though, and I'm actually quite excited for the game, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, hence why it's in number 1. Then again, all the games on this list do interest me in some way, shape, and form. And trust me, if you guys tuned into my other list videos, you do know that there are over 40 games meant to release in the Roblox platform within the next couple of years, whether that's this year, next year, or the year after. And this list only scraped less than half of those games, and some of those games weren't even on the original list that were on this video. So a lot of these games are new and have come out of the woodworks just recently. So yes, there are a bunch of games that are going to be coming soon that didn't even hit this list or the old list. 2024, or should I just say the Roblox anime community in general, has a lot to look forward to over the next couple of years, and this year alone we have a lot of games coming that are confirmed, as you can tell from this video. If you made it to the end, please let me know what games you guys are most excited for, what is your order of this list, and give your opinions on almost anything that you can. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. Let's run this video out. Share this video with a friend, because this is some cookage right here. You ever heard of a cookage? Now you have. I love and appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.